Hey guys, and welcome back to another Naked Monday. So this week I wanted to talk about body shaming, and I mean you see this everywhere, you hear it everywhere. It's in media, it's in conversations you have with your friends, conversations you hear on the street, conversations you hear from kids, TV, movies, everything. It's everywhere. We're constantly being told that we're ugly, we're not, our bodies aren't good enough, we're too fat, we're too skinny. You can't wear this, but you should wear that. We need to lose weight, we need to gain weight. There's just everywhere you go, you're being told that your body is not fine the way that it is right now. And all of this body shaming gives us the wrong feelings and ideas that we should have about our bodies and the way that we look. We go through our lives being ashamed of how we look and afraid of what people are going to think of us. And so we fear a little bit of nudity or anything because we're just so afraid of what someone's going to think. We're afraid of being judged, being ridiculed, laughed at, shamed, and it's just kind of become how society is. And it's become this way and totally taken advantage of just to sell a product. We're told that we're ugly, that we should aspire to look better, and then we're sold something that will make us look that way. And then when we realize that it doesn't work, we buy another one, and then we buy another one, and then we buy another one. But we never reach that perfect body image because that doesn't really exist. I mean, sure, some people, they do devote a lot of their time and energy into eating healthy and working out and exercising and maintaining this kind of a body, and that's just become their lifestyle. That's what they do. But there's a lot less of these people than you may think. That's all that the media shows us, that's all the society shows us, because that's all they want us to see. That's what they want us. They want all of us to aspire to have that same kind of body. And they want us to believe that this is so normal that we'll pretty much buy anything they tell us to just so we can possibly look that way as well. And many models do have these nice bodies, and they did work really hard to get them. Some of them are just naturally skinny, some of them just naturally have bodies like that. But even those models, they're photoshopped. Once they get the pictures, they photoshop them and slap them up on a magazine. Women are made to look skinnier, they have bigger boobs, bigger butts. Men, same thing, they're made to look like they have more muscle, they got bigger butts, bigger bulges. That's just how it happens. I mean, you gotta remember how much the internet exploded when that Calvin Klein ad came out with Justin Bieber on it, and everyone's freaking out over how it's photoshopped and his bulge isn't that big and his butt's not that big. It's like, I'm over here just sitting here just thinking, who cares? What does it matter? So what if his bulge is really that big or not? Like, it's not the first time a person has ever been photoshopped in a photo shoot before. And then when you have like an average sized woman taken, like a photograph taken of her, then she's called fat and ugly and disgusting and made fun of, and that's pretty much what every young girl and woman has to go through every day. And it's not just women too, like men go through this as well, it's just not as much. And maybe that's just because men don't care, I don't know. But I think that's a whole other conversation. And of course, all of this is geared towards sex. Sex sells, and if you want to look sexy and have sex, then this is what you must do. That's what we're being told. And I think someone's vacuuming in the apartment next to me. But nudity in your natural body doesn't have to equal sex. We've just been trained to believe that the only time you should be naked is when you're showering or having sex. Like, even sleeping naked is like weird or risque to some people. So let's just take a look at some pictures for a second here. Here's a picture of Marilyn Monroe from the 50s. At this time, she was considered a sex symbol. Now, here's a picture of some random model from today, because there's so many of them and I just feel like they all look the same. I just picked one at random. By today's standards, Marilyn Monroe would be considered fat and unattractive, at least in her body. She would be considered disgusting and unsexy. But I don't see anything wrong with that, and this picture here is most likely photoshopped. I don't think this model is actually that skinny. And even if she was, that's just what is considered normal these days. Now let's look at the men. Here's a picture of Montgomery Clift, a pretty famous sex symbol from the 50s. Now here's a sex symbol from today. Okay, I'm just kidding, but not really, because that's kind of what people are considering to be sex symbols these days. But seriously though, here is a random picture of a male model shirtless. And again, it's at random because there's just so many of them today, I didn't know which one to pick, and they all kind of just look the same anyway. So by today's standards, Montgomery here would be considered to be too skinny, not muscular enough, and too hairy, and probably kind of gross. What we need to do is just stop and come to the realization that the body that we've been given in this life, while we can modify it by losing or gaining weight, surgery, whatever, our bodies are our own, they're original, and they are unique. All of our childhoods we're told that we should just be ourselves, but then somewhere along the lines we stop listening to that advice and then start listening to the advice of the media and society, and we start down the path of wanting to be like everyone else. Like, be yourself, be proud of your body, it's yours, own it, don't feel ashamed of it. Like, this is the reason why I started being naked around home all the time, because I've had body issues my whole life, feeling like I was too skinny, always being told that I needed to eat a sandwich or eat more. My stepdad used to call me Hercules as a joke when I was a kid, because I was, skinny and weak. And I know that all that may seem like nothing, but after you've heard someone for the 1000th time tell you that you need to eat a sandwich, you just kind of want to turn around and scream at them. It's like, you know what, I do eat. I eat a lot. I probably eat more than you. I just have a much faster metabolism than you do. And I can't help that. Being naked all the time for me really made me start to appreciate my body and stop trying to change it. Either way, you just really need to stop worrying about what other people think, start looking at yourself, looking into yourself, and just being appreciative of what you have, and just owning what you have, and not caring what other people think of you. But okay, that is it for me this week. I am out. I will see you next video. Have a great week.